210-443, zone 16, 17, 18, 12, all that. Let's go. Give me a track, then give me a minute. Give me a track, then give me a minute. Give me a track, then give me a minute. Cinematics and precision, I feel on the demographic of the rhythm, yeah. Fuck with my dogs, they on the west side. Fuck with my fam, they on the east side. I keep it 100, they're melting the G-ride. You don't rap, you don't trap, bitch. Put your mouthpiece on a ceasefire. Gotta keep quiet for the heat rise. Hot girl made my meat rise. Me no speak lies to the bros, no truth to the pose. I fuck on your whole foes for the low. Shorty on 10 toes for the blow. Speak on my people, you keep it a secret, or catch you a beating right after the show. Yo, give me a track, then give me a minute. Give me a track, then give me a minute. Give me a track, then give me a minute. Cinematics and precision, I feel on the demographic of the rhythm, yeah. Give me a track, I'm about to kill it. Give me a track, but I gotta feel it. Give me a track, put that on the skillet. Cinematics and precision, I feel on the demographic of the rhythm. Look, man up, not a man down. Make it, take it, not a hand down. I'm the man now, you was sleeping. Got all that free smoke you was seeking. A city that need hope and a beacon. Don't need all the weak folk that be leaving. It's me you believe in, now calm down. My infantry ready to bomb now. I woke up and calling them all in the hall of the ball in the wrong crowd with a strong sound. This is infinite epic fan. You rappers be tripping in neck and land. I came here to ripping until it's no ripping. You might need to grip with your better hand. I think it's sufficient to mention you might need to listen and kneel to the better man, to the better man. Give me a track.
We were smarter than we were until we opened our mouth. My grandma said it's best to keep your mouth closed, then open it and remove all doubt. There are some seasons coming where your silence is.
Don't be calling, telling what they talking about. If you talking money, what you talking about? I don't be with souls who don't see their goals. I can't feed a soul if I'm in the hole. I don't give a damn what your daddy did. I won't send a clan where your mammy live. I'm coming straight for you, hateful alien arranger too. Got fam that'll do for me what politicians pay to do. But I'm not a hateful dude, I be on my chilly wheels. Say you kill a pussy, but you can't, cause you killing pills. Easy in the killing field, fire in the hole. Spark and find the trees of my desire in a bowl. Excellence and negligence, gangbangers the presidents. The specialist is evidence, slang singers and reverence. Kept it at a measurement, same slayers had never been. The resting with the wretched and game players should never win. Don't be calling, telling what they talking about. If you talking money, what you talking about? I don't be with souls who don't see their goals. I can't feed a soul if I'm in the hole. Don't be calling, telling what they talking about. If you talking money, what you talking about? I don't be with souls who don't see their goals. I can't feed a soul if I'm in the hole. Back cracking, immaculate backpacking, entrapment, and jack snapping from Cackalack to the Vatican. Black lives matter when black affluent chatter get active. Put the stacks with a rack stacking is mattering. I don't do whack, flattering, passive to flat blabbering. Your networking event was a scattered tragedy gathering. Bitch, I do a lot, I be in the spots. You be with the cops, you be with the ops. You ran from your block when they hit your spot. My block how you chopped if you hit my spot. We are not the same, we was never close. I've been in my lane where you never coast. Rap veteran, smoking on better medicine. Who meddling the devil than fucking the lady reverend. The level of benevolence had you thinking I'm heaven sent. Never been to heaven, my DNA is irreverent. Don't be calling, telling what they talking about. If you talking money, what you talking about? I don't be with souls who don't see their goals. I can't feed a soul if I'm in the hole. Don't be calling, telling what they talking about. If you talking money, what you talking about? I don't be with souls who don't see their goals. I can't feed a soul if I'm in the hole.
Mesdames et messieurs, just something that my brother, he just randomly
10 seconds.
Till oh, okay.
Till we start?
I guess so.
What's happening? Who's in charge?
Watch the chat.
They hear
Michael.
us, so we should stop talking.
Another flawless entry into our show.
I want to whisper in your ear and tell you that I'm here and take you out to dance and maybe find some sweet, sweet romance. But you can't, so it's Mobtown life. I want to see the friends I miss, or give my mom a kiss, or get my hair cut right, or just sleep through the night. But you can't, so it's Mobtown life. Mobtown life, we'll drink with you forever. Mobtown life in dark and stormy weather. Mobtown life, what else is there to do? Spooky, but pandemic together. So put on your Wednesday best, at least the top, I guess. We'll take you to the moon. It's live to your bedroom. It's tonight, and it's Mobtown live.
Wah, ha, 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 ha.
Spooky.
Michael probably can't turn on his video because I had to turn it off for him because he wasn't listening.
It won't let me.
Well,
Off to a good start.
I believe a host will need to turn on your video, Michael.
Yeah.
Mobtown Live is brought to you by the people who turn off your video and can't turn it back on
There
again.
we go.
Hello.
Welcome to Mobtown Live, everybody. My name is Sarah.
I'm Michael. Happy almost Halloween. I like how Abby really milks that song in sort of a topical, seasonal way every time.
Yes, agreed. So this is Mobtown Live. We're here every week. This week is a little bit special because it's the week leading up to the election, which could be good, but we don't know. And it is also the week leading up to Halloween. So we have some Halloween specials. We have Kristen Harbison from the Maryland League of Conservation Voters coming on. And we have our first ever youth correspondent, Selah, who is going to stop by to talk to us about her opinions on everything that's going on right now.
And also, we have a cover charge in case you didn't know that yet. You should pay $10 if you can. Venmo at Mobtown-Live. And we use that money to pay the artists that show up because that's important. They don't work for that exposure. And then we also occasionally buy equipment with it and things like that. But really, there's no one making money off this show. So if you can't afford it and you don't pay it, but you like watching the show, you should feel extremely guilty. Also, this show, through great difficulty on my part, will be kid-friendly for about the first 20 minutes. After that, there's no promises, but there will be no shenanigans of any inappropriate kind, no discussions of news items like last week. Until the child correspondent that we have employed / volunteered is gone. Okay, once the children leave, then it's safe for the shenanigans. Is that right,
So
Sarah?
that's less for the people who are going to watch the whole thing and more for the parents of the younger generation of Mobtown Live viewers. Just to know that once Selah is off of the screen, all bets are off. We'll do our best, but none of the content is particularly adult, but we're not known for our behavior.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
think
got to raise those kids right, because what happens if you don't is that you're in a basement or in your weird psychotic book room. Like, this is where you end up if the children aren't sort of curated in their growth.
Yeah, this is where my career has landed me so far on Mobtown Live. um, Last thing, make sure to like and subscribe, like the video and the channel and all that, or whatever, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, that kind of thing. And for those of you who were on the show last week, we will announce last week's top comment winner at the very end of the show. And that person will receive 50 pig bucks to be spent in Pigtown at select locations. A lot of them, though. It includes
Local merchants.
us. Yeah, us, Charm City Books. There's a bunch of food places. There's other things. Suspended Brewery. So it's a good thing to have. All right. Well, should we segue, Michael, to our youth correspondent?
I think we should give it over to the youth.
All right. So first, we're going to play a quick video. And this video is, so back in March, right when all of this had started and we had started quarantining, I sat down with about 10 young people over Zoom and talked to them all about the coronavirus and school and being stuck at home. It was pretty gold, except for that editing it was tricky due to the fact that I did not yet know how to use Zoom, and so half of it is them talking with my face showing. So I had to scrap a lot of it. But I took a couple highlights from my long interview with Selah, where she had a lot to say. These are just quick snippets so you get to know her. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to go live to Selah.
Yeah.
Is Twinkle Toes and her wife Pammy, who is going to have a baby around my birthday. My name is Selah, and right now I'm 6 3/4, but my birthday is exactly the day she's gonna have a little girl, and she's gonna have it on June 5th. It's like this virus, but it's not just in one specific place at one time in a specific time. It's a bunch of times in a bunch of places. It's because the virus is really, really starting to spread. It's getting a little better every day, but it's also getting a little worse. If our family has it and then we still go to school, we may have a small case and then it would transfer to other students or a teacher, which would mean that they could get coronavirus, and that would be really bad. I've been feeling really frustrated and sad, and billions of worry or sad feelings for no particular reason. It's just oh my gosh, what is going on? You're just I'm stuck in the house, so wherever I go, it'll just bounce at me. If I just put them on the wall or on the chair, whenever I go to the wall or the chair, it will come back to me. I think hugging the panda I gave my mom for Mother's Day, hugging either my cat Effie or my cat Kibu, and Kibu is over there. We're talking to my friend Sabrina, just taking a long walk with my dad and playing Pokemon Go. And also, these are pretty expensive, but my mom got these and they basically just make me happy. Well, I think they're saying that they're gonna open this up soon, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna act like that never happened because the virus is still spreading. Why in the world are you going to do that? Yeah, actually, because no matter how far this virus is going. Everyone's still working as hard as they can to stop this, and we're all in this together, and everyone is trying to stop this, and we're all here no matter what. So just be happy, and as my cat says, nap all day.
Hi, Sayla.
Hi.
How are you?
Awesome.
Michael.
Thanks so much for being on here.
What?
Michael is not supposed to be on, Hachi,
Oh my God.
just so you know. Classic. Sayla, we are not super good at technology here. Well, Hachi is, but the rest of us aren't. So you, I think, are probably more experienced at Zoom than I am. But how are you doing? How was your summer?
Well, my summer was great, but school has been...
Really? What about it?
Well, the whole beginning, we're still learning vowels, and I have no idea why. And, like, we're also, like, we barely even get to read any books.
And you're a big reader, huh?
Called reading.
Yeah, so are you going into school or are you doing it virtually?
No, I do it on Zoom.
Okay. And so back when I talked to you in March, you were saying it's kind of difficult because you don't get to see your friends, but you were pulling it off. How's it been going now?
Well, yeah, it's basically the same. I do always have something to keep me busy between my iPad and a new dictionary I started.
Yeah, wait. You started a dictionary?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about it?
Well, it's full of silly languages like op or Pig Latin, and I named my house Meowmania, which is the name of our cat kingdom, and I'm also gonna put Meowmanian into it.
Nice, awesome. So it's mostly words that you make up and want to remember.
Well, actually, op and Pig Latin are not words I make up there.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, cool. And so how is being stuck at home? Have you gotten used to it? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Well, that's like being at home. Yeah, that's okay. Also, school is shorter now.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I love about it. But it also means I get more time with my friends, and I do have in-person plates too. So actually, it's really good.
Oh, well, that's good. Cool. Yeah, what's going on in the world of kids and maybe of your stuffies? I imagine they're connected in some way.
Well, yeah. The thing is that a big stuffy and doll virus is spreading around, caused by robberies, and we need to keep track of all those things going on.
Wait, so there's a virus going around stuffies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not just people. It's called AC-18 because it started in 2018.
Whoa.
And
what does it do to them?
Well, there are a lot of symptoms. It's so like sneezing and coughing, and like your breath could stop working as properly.
That's scary. And so you and your friends are keeping track of this virus to try and make sure it doesn't spread?
Well, me and one of my friends.
Cool. How are you doing that?
Well, me and my friend Sabrina are like, we are sort of making maps and big papers, and we each have books filled with different stuffy and doll viruses. And one of my stuffies has actually gotten a big case.
Oh no. Is she okay?
Yeah, but it's not very good.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Which one is that?
Oh, my name is Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes. I remember I met Twinkle Toes on Zoom in March. Did Twinkle Toes have her baby?
Her name is Heather.
Heather? And what's your wife's name, Twinkle Toes?
Pammy.
Pammy. Awesome. Well, okay, I want to switch to, so since you're doing such a good job contact tracing, and, you know, I think with coronavirus, it's been so-so on the contact tracing, which leads me to ask about the election. Are you following politics at all?
Actually, I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Like, are you paying attention to the presidential election?
Well, a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but a while ago, I did my own tiny election.
Really?
Between Trump and Elizabeth Warren, and Elizabeth Warren won by like all the people in my house.
I really wish, Michael, we can hear you laughing. I mean, it's pretty great, but or wait, no, maybe is that you, Chris? Maybe that's you. Oh, good. Okay, you can keep it. Sorry. Yeah, that I really wish that your house were in charge of the presidential election for real. Because it sounds like you got some good people in your house.
And cats.
And cats, yes. Did they all get to vote?
Well, the cats did get to vote, yes.
Did any of them vote for Trump?
No.
Well, good. Then they can keep living there, huh? So are you thinking about the election next week at all?
Well, I'm definitely like thinking about how it's going to be so soon and how it feels like the election might as well have already happened because of all the things that have been going on.
Like, which things do you think?
Well, I think it's sort of like coronavirus and all the things Trump's done.
Right, yeah. Have you been following the Supreme Court or anything like that?
Well, as of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, then I mean,
you were like, I'm out.
I've been like reading a billion, like every time I see a book about a book or anything about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I'm intrigued.
That's awesome. What do you like about what she did?
Well, I think that not only was she a great person, but I think we should honor her more now because she died and she lived such a long life, but didn't actually get to accomplish as much goals as she would have wanted to. So now we have to sort of like help her achieve those goals.
That's a really excellent way of putting it. That's very smart, Selah. Do you think that people voting is part of it?
Yes.
Do you have any message for voters or for people who are considering voting?
Well, I think you should vote for whoever that like really like you would really just like consider to be a good president, but also who you think would be able to do the most good in the world.
Yeah, thank you for that. I agree. Do you have any advice for anyone who might be going stir crazy considering the coronavirus is still going on and winter's coming and all that?
Well, that people are doing whatever they can to stay safe. So there's a pretty big chance you won't get it, just as long as you like stay safe and follow the coronavirus rules.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. So I know that you're an avid reader. Like you read all the time, right?
Yeah, literally anytime I see a book.
Do you have any books that you would want to recommend to us?
Well, first I have something that a lot of you might have not actually heard of. It's one of the ones I read in bed. This is one of the last books, but the series is called Rescue Princesses.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I never have heard of that.
It's princesses who rescue different animals. This is about Princess Ella, who rescues a rabbit.
That's cool. So the princesses aren't getting rescued themselves. They're rescuing things.
Yeah, they're rescuing animals.
That's awesome.
I also have this. I started it myself because it had because the main character had the nickname that I have.
What's that nickname?
Sally.
Sally, awesome.
But it's also like if you like magical creatures and castles and princesses and like
It's got all of those.
Yeah, every single one. It even has wizards and actually I haven't even heard of a witch.
Whoa.
What's going on here?
How can you show me how big that book is? Whoa, and what grade are you in?
Second.
That's pretty amazing. Good
Well,
job.
I don't read it to
Well,
myself. I do read the Rescue Princess book to myself though.
that's awesome. So Rescue Princess, and then what was that other one called? Sorry, I just want to make sure I
The
remember.
other one is each book in the series has a different name. But
Oh, I see. Cool.
they have almost all the days of the week, and the one I show you is called Thursdays with the Crown. The last one I want to recommend is the Narnia series. This is the entire series, but this might surprise you. This whole book of the entire series isn't even one Harry Potter book.
Whoa. Are you a fan of both Narnia and Harry Potter?
Yes.
Cool.
Could you? Oh.
Yeah, you can. That's a heavy book, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Selah, is there anything that you want to say to the people before we end the little interview?
Well, I'd like to say that you should definitely vote if you haven't, and that keep safe, basically.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Selah. I really, really appreciate it. And please tell your parents I said thank you as well. And your plushies, Twinkle Toes, Pammy, Heather, all of them. And the cats, especially Gilly, because that's the one whose name I remember. All right. Well, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Hachi.
There we go.
I can't do it. You got to do it for me.
There we go.
How adorable was that book recommendation
that
from
was-
a human child?
Selah, everybody. Oh, she's got so many book recommendations. She
Narnia, I respect
reads.
that. And the only thing we can say about Harry Potter is that it's a little wordy. A little long.
I mean, yeah, but you read all of it. So
Of course I have.
Selah knows a lot of stuff, and her friends do too. I like that idea of a book about princesses who rescue things instead of getting rescued.
Rescue
Yeah,
princesses.
way better that way.
Yeah. So Selah, everybody, thank you, Selah. My cat is trying to break into this room as we speak. All right, couple quick announcements. Next week on the show, we are having a self-soothing episode where we're bringing in our in-house social worker, Carly, to lead us in some things to try and, handle our emotions, which I imagine will be all over the place due to the election. We are going to have an uplifting puppet show from Mabel. You may remember her from the
Ooh,
telethon.
yeah.
We should probably run that telethon video again.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like maybe
yeah.
as play us out with it.
Yeah. We're going to have live jazz music from Dan and Jake. And you all may recall Dan from the early days of the New Old Fashions. And so he'll be returning to play some jazz for you. And as usual, we will be oscillating between something uplifting and fatalistic humor that will hopefully be funny instead of depressing.
Now I'm confused. Is that the day of the actual election? Is it 4th?
It's the day after.
Oh, the day after.
So,
So
what I'm guessing is that
if you can't be reached, if you can't find us on YouTube, just point a coat hanger at the sky, and we'll do our best to reach you.
If the world has ended, we won't have a show. But if it hasn't ended, then we'll be having a show, and hopefully it'll give you a brief respite from your obsessive refreshing, because I can't imagine
the
we'll have
courage
a
to
result.
go on, maybe.
Or if there's people in the streets, we're probably not going to have a show because we're going to be in the streets. So
True.
if you go and you're like, we're not there,
Live
just go outside
from the
and come look
burning
for us.
carcass of society, it's Mobtown Live.
I hadn't actually considered the possibility that we could be celebrating. I'm sorry I said that out loud. I can't imagine a scenario in which anyone would feel safe enough celebrating, but we'll see. So with that uplifting sentiment,
Jeez.
I think we should bring on Kristen Harbison to talk to us about voting and the elections.
Our Annapolis correspondent.
Our
Kristen
Annapolis
Harbison.
correspondent. Yes, we need to get little tags for the bottom. Hi, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen.
I think we should bring on. Kristen, can you mute the YouTube video?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
And I can even turn it off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
There we go. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be. I'm super impressed with Selah, and I kind of want to carry her around with me and have her try to do my job because I think she would do it better than I do.
What is your job, Kristen? Tell the people.
My job, I am a lobbyist. Don't be afraid. For the Maryland League of Conservation Voters. We are a statewide nonprofit. We work to pass strong environmental legislation. But my title is actually political director, but that means that I'm a lobbyist. So for all that's worth. Yeah, and right now we're doing all the work. We're working on the election. We're an organization that gets to work in both policy and politics, which is exciting. So we do during when the legislature is in session, we work really hard to get bills passed. But when elections come, like they are now, we actually work to get good people elected. This year most of what we're doing is actually all of what we're doing is just getting people educated and helping them understand what's happening in the election. How do you vote? Where do you vote? Answering questions about the election, because it's really confusing with all the changes that have been made in the mail-in voting and in person, and is it safe? And oh my God, well, when will we know when things happen? And all that. So so that's what
and thank you, because the couch party that you did with us is like most of the reason why I knew how to vote today. And for
you can always call me. You can always call me. I'm happy to tell you.
Oh, we're gonna get into that today. Yeah.
Yeah, today I got coronavirus tested and then walked the 2 blocks to Camden Station and voted. So it was like the ultimate civic duty.
Well, and before I forget too, despite our inept city election department, their Twitter is quite good. If you're looking for short lines, follow Baltimore City Elections on Twitter. And they'll tell you where to go.
They've been doing their best. A lot of the boards of elections around the state have been trying been doing their part to get the word out and help people to vote. There are, and one of the things that we're doing now we're doing election protection.
cool.
Which means, yeah, so there you'll see, if you're in Baltimore City, you might see me out with my black t-shirt and my black mask, just making sure everything's going smoothly. But there are about hundreds of volunteers all over the state who are checking in on the elections to make sure to see where the lines are, to make sure that people have access, that there aren't issues with voter intimidation, that there's which is not something we've seen here, which is good.
That's good.
There have been questions about, there have been lines, lots of lines, people have been hearing about lines, but you can check. They are trying to get the word out to help people know where the lines are lessened. And I can tell you that if you're wanting to vote and you want to avoid lines, middle of the day is best. Don't go first thing before work. Don't go after work. If you can, go in the middle of the day. But also, if you have a ballot, you can just drop it in the drop box and be done with it. It's too late to ask for mail-in ballot now, but if you were able to get one, then you could just drop it in and be counted.
Yeah, Camden Crossing today was only, or Camden Station, sorry. There were probably like 30 people in front of me, but it only took about 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're going very fast. They're getting very efficient at it. They want people in and out. And one of the things we're watching in the election protection is whether people are people observing social distancing, are they all masked? And again, this is something that everybody knows what's going on. Everybody is prepared and is, we haven't had any problem. We haven't really had any problems with people with that kind of disruption. Everything is going pretty smoothly, all told. Just lots of lines.
Awesome.
Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, as of right now, this is the kind of wonk that I am. I was looking at election data of where we are so far. As of right now, with the votes that have been accepted so far by the State Board of Elections and the first 2 days of mail-in voting, of early voting, we're about half the number of people have voted so far in Maryland as had in the entirety of 2016's election.
Wow.
So voter turnout's really high.
That's really great to hear.
About time.
Exciting.
And I guess, but we don't have a sense of whether there's more people voting or if they're just voting early, right?
I'm sure that data is available. I'm sure that if you had the right data, you probably could. There's something called there are places where you can see data file, like you can actually see voter files. You can never see how people vote, but you can see whether they voted. I'm sure if you had all of that data, you could probably see whether people voted, whether people voted early, whether there are people who voted new.
Right.
About 65-70% of mail-in ballots have been returned and accepted at this point.
That actually leads pretty well into our first question, if it's okay for me to segue.
Yes.
So this is from Christine, and she asked if on election day your ballot says ballot received, but not accepted, because I know that when people are doing the mail-in ballot, they're keeping track.
Right.
Should you go to a poll and fill out a provisional ballot, or if it says rejected for reasons related to the signature or other things that you can correct, can you then go and vote in person?
So if it's received but it hasn't yet been accepted, it just means, so in the life cycle of a ballot, and if you go to the mdlcv.org/elections, we have, I think, something that we posted that basically is the life cycle of a ballot, because we're an environmental group, and so butterflies and ballots, it's how we do. But the life cycle of a ballot, so when you get to, so the difference between received and accepted is that received is they literally have it, but they haven't done anything with it.
It's like it's on the mail truck, but it's not delivered to the house.
It has been, they have taken it from the drop box or the mail, it has been received, and they literally have it. They know who's whose ballot has come in because it has the barcodes and the, the names, etc., but they haven't opened it up and they haven't made sure that they're valid. So so it takes some time for them to go through the ballots to make sure that your ballot is valid. They go through, right. So they'll go through and make sure that you haven't voted before, that you haven't already voted, that you haven't, that they understand that your ballot has been signed, that it is, that they can tell, the little black boxes that when you filled in with your black pen, make sure that it's clear who you voted for. They do their best to, if there's a problem with your ballot, to reach out to the voters to try to get them corrected.
Well, really? They
will try to, I don't know how much they're able to do it. I know that there are efforts to try to correct ballots. And so that's something to be, so if your ballot's been received, it hasn't been accepted, don't panic. They are going through the process and they do want every vote to count. They want every valid vote to count. So sometimes it just takes a little bit, especially as it gets closer to election day and more ballots are coming in. It takes more time. It can take more time.
So they shouldn't go and
no, you should not. If your ballot has been received but not accepted yet, if you go to the polling place, you will not be allowed. You will I suppose they might give you a provisional ballot, but they will recognize that it's there. So I wouldn't.
Okay. And what about if there's like some error and it's not accepted?
If there's some error, and again, they will do their best to try to reach out and get those ballots corrected. I'll tell you what though, I will be making sure that what I'm telling you is right, and talk to the actual, like the people who work with the boards of elections. And if that is not the case and people should consider going, if the ballot hasn't been accepted, I will double check about whether they'll be allowed to cast a provisional ballot. And I will post it on the Mobtown Live.
Awesome.
The Mobtown, right? But I would say, take a breath and wait until the end of the week. Because they just take some time to go through the process.
Right. I think that this person has been waiting 2 weeks for it to switch from received to accepted. So she's getting nervous, but I imagine that it's just that, they put them in a pile and it takes a while. It
can take some time. And depending on where she lives and what's, there are again, more and more ballots. If she's really concerned, she can call the State Board of Elections and ask about it. So if she's been waiting for 2 weeks, maybe by the end of the week she should call and see.
That makes sense. Cool.
I mean, by the end of this week or the end of next week?
Oh, by the end of this week. That way, if there's a problem, she'll still have the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, to go to the elections and cast a ballot.
Kristen, how much in my heart should I be terrified that we're just not going to know anything? This is a little bit beyond the scope of just Maryland for like 6 months.
Okay, so
what level of terror is appropriate on a from like 1 to 10?
I mean, so we're past the part where we have to be completely adult and child friendly, right?
Yes.
I am considering very hard, like how to keep myself safely in a state of sedation for a few days.
Yeah, we can have a live stream of just like cocktails all night.
Well, I know, we'll see.
It's a light cocktail party / binge drinking festival.
It could happen. There are some things we will know on election night, and there will be more things that we know on November 4th. But so think about the Baltimore City elections in the primary. On election night, one person was the presumptive winner. That person is not the nominee, the Democratic nominee for mayor, and it took a week. And that's Baltimore City with 600,000 people and about, and 150,000 voters. So you take that and you apply that to, say, California and other states. It could take some time, especially since they're going to want to be really careful to make sure that that the results are solid and confirmed, because they want to keep it out of the courts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, so it is like, I don't know, like, but we will know. There will be things we know. We will know things like voter turnout. We will know there will be people who have made projections in certain states. So we might know some of the Senate races. We might know, like, well, there'll be House races. We know there'll be Senate races. We know there'll be.
We'll know that Bill Henry won.
Well, he's basically like, he's on still on a ballot. He needs a right. Like, people could, I suppose everybody could write in against him, but yes, I'm pretty sure that we'll know whether Bill Henry won.
What kind of
sure we
monster
know
would
that.
write
On
in against
November
Bill
3rd.
Henry?
That I think is probably pretty fair.
It's a good quote,
We'll
Michael.
know, I think we'll probably know most of the city elections.
Yeah.
We should know things like, we should know things like the ballot questions. I know you had questions about.
Yeah, I wanted to
the
ask
ballot
you about
initiative,
that.
right? All of those things, like, the more local it is, the more likely we'll know, the sooner we'll know. It is
Okay.
like, we could know on November 4th if it's a blowout.
Don't say it. Shh.
I'm not
Yeah, what?
suggesting that there is. I don't think, but I think that I think you want to, like, prepare yourself for a few days of uncertainty in terms of, like, the presidential election, or even who has control of the Senate.
So at the end of next week would be a reasonable time for a
One
cautious
would
man
hope.
like myself to get a pitchfork and a torch. And just like,
Avoid the pitchforks and torches.
Yeah, I don't know that people with buzz cuts should carry around pitchforks.
it's not a tiki torch. Pitchforks are fine.
Are they? I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
They're not
okay.
fascist.
Okay.
I feel
okay.
like I strongly discourage pitchforks or torches.
You have to say that though. Blink if you want me to get a
suppose so,
pitchfork.
but I also really believe it. Like, wait for the process to go through. The thing is that it's actually not a bad thing if it takes some time.
Yeah, it's probably better in a
because
certain
it means that every vote is being counted, and that is what we want.
I was
So-
thinking more in terms of like just be sort of, and now I'm being serious, in terms of, let's say, Democratic readiness. Hypothetically, I'm a Democrat. For
Hypothetically, I'm a Democrat too, Michael.
Hypothetically.
yeah, for engaging.
My cat, by the way, is a libertarian, and she and I do not agree on politics. Just saying.
Your cat's a 16-year-old boy.
My cat is in timeout because she would have things to say about this.
Oh my god! So, I guess what the kernel of my real question is if we're all sitting there and it is taking some time, which is obviously very reasonable because there's a billion mail-in ballots. The longer that time takes, that's going to motivate the hypothetical other side to be douchebags about it and throw things at the courts and generally behave very badly. At what point do we start panicking and thinking we need to be in the streets protesting?
Right, like when Fox News just announces it.
Yeah, like
I mean, I think you like you want to make sure figure out who you trust, who are the leaders, who are the voices, which are the organizations that you trust to give you information and to give you and to organize when organizing is necessary. I work for a nonprofit organization. We're an environmental organization. We also do organizing. Like, organizing sometimes is important, and organizing is always important. Rallies and protests and things like that are sometimes that is important. But you want to know, who do you trust to be giving you the information about when that time has come. It is I think you should be prepared that it's likely to end up in the courts.
Mm-hmm.
Or there will be elections that end up in the courts. Hopefully it will not.
It's not
The
Florida.
presidential election won't be, but prepare yourself for that possibility. And figure out who your trusted messengers are. Who do you trust to tell you when to panic?
You, Kristen.
That makes
I trust
sense.
you.
Yeah.
So we are telling people we don't want people to panic. We want people to wait for the votes to be counted. We take a lot of our messages about what's happening on the national level from our partners at National League of Conservation Voters, who work with the grassroots organizations around the country. The largely progressive. We are nonpartisan, but we prioritize the election going smoothly, the election going well, every vote being counted,
and you like the environment.
The process is being strong, the process is being right. So yeah.
So
sign up to get on the Maryland LCV listserv, and we'll tell you what to do. That's what I'm saying.
What you're saying is I'm going to call you
Or if
personally,
you don't like
so you're
me,
not saying it
talk
on
to
the.
somebody else.
Yeah.
You can also call me personally. You have my number.
Get the real skinny.
Yeah, all the people
This
we
is
have
like
on this
this
show.
we are working with groups around the state. The Everyone Votes Maryland Coalition is a group of, I don't even know how many organizations that are all doing, they're doing the election protection work. They're doing, they've been working with the Board of Elections to make sure that the process goes smoothly, to make sure it's accessible. Like really, this is something that we've been working. It is a large coalition of people. And one of the things we've been talking about is trying to figure out, trying to make sure we're all working together on those messages afterwards. So whatever happens, you'll be hearing similar messages from all of us who are working together, because we're trying to make sure that we have a cohesive message, because that's what's important, to make sure that
really nice to hear.
Yeah. I mean, different organizations have different messages, but we are all talking to each other and trying to make sure that we share and sharing information about what's happening.
Can I ask something about the ballot? Well, so we're running out of time, but
you want to talk about the ballot?
Yeah, I want to do like a rapid fire. So the statewide questions in Maryland, question 1 and question 2. Question 2 is about casinos and sports betting and that shit. And
do it, don't do it.
That'll pass no matter what.
Question 1 though, crazy important, and also really, really wonky. And I know I have so many people who call me like, I don't understand this question. What is it? So here's the skinny on it. So Maryland has what's called a strong governor system. We have if not unique to the country, we have one of, if not the strongest governor system in the country. This system started in the early 19th century, when the powers that be decided that the governor was more trustworthy than the ne'er-do-wells in the General Assembly. And so the governor should have the power to the control of the purse strings. So in Maryland, unlike in the Congress, the budget starts with the governor. When it gets to the General Assembly, they can fence things off, they can reduce money, they can.
But our governor doesn't even know Baltimore exists.
What's that?
Our governor doesn't know Baltimore exists. What do we do in that case?
Our governor just is not. Our governor, I am not going to disagree. I think he knows that Baltimore exists. He would like.
Our governor is the ne'er-do-well.
You're not allowed to.
I'm just saying. So the governor, and whether like it was Hogan, it's O'Malley, it doesn't matter who it is. This has been the case. So the governor sets the budget. The General Assembly has very little control. They cannot add to programs. They cannot add money. They have very limited capacity to move things around. What this question does is it shifts the balance of power away from the governor and to the General Assembly. The governor still sets the cap of how much money is the budget, but under that budget limit, the General Assembly would have much more power to add to programs, to add to programs, and to add money. Democracy. So this is something. So depending on so that's the difference, right? So this shifts the balance of power to the legislature from the governor. The governor then has the ability to do a line item veto, which he also can't do right now. Right now, the governor cannot. When the governor sets the budget, the General Assembly has to pass it. The governor cannot veto it. with this, the governor also has ability to do line item vetoes for programs he doesn't want, but that has a lot more transparency.
I
For
see.
in
Then
the,
we at
in the
least know who
process.
did it.
Right, exactly.
Huh.
So that's the general, like that's the like quick and dirty version of what that question is. It's incredibly important. The General Assembly really wants this power. The governor would really like them not to have it. So it's a question of whether, so when you make your decision on question one, the question is who do you want to have more power, the governor or the General Assembly? Who do you feel is more responsive, will be more responsive to your needs?
Kristen, you are terrible at rapid fire questioning.
I can't help it. That's important. That's hard and it's wonky. Everything else I can be more rapid fire.
That was more rapid fire than other questions. So I thought it was great. We do have a question in the Abby showed up again.
Yo, yeah, we got a question in the chat about question 2, sports betting and quote unquote education funding. Sounds like a hoax to me, just saying.
Yeah, I guess my question for you, Kristen, to not bait you into partisanship would be, what are people's arguments sometimes, like what do they sometimes say against the sports betting question?
I mean, it's really whether you like betting or whether you want us to have sports betting or not. Like this is not like, I have no strong feelings one way or the other. This one is pretty straightforward to me.
Everything else
other
is legal.
States have it. All the other states around us have it. 22 other states have it, which means that 28 states, including us right now, don't.
What about
whatever? But the education funding, that money, that was something that was determined a couple of years in a previous election. That money is a lockbox. Like money that goes to the gambling money that goes to education can only be spent on education. Nobody can steal from that money. It's one of the funds that cannot be where they cannot take money from it. Education and Transportation Trust Fund are lockboxes. So it's not a scam. That money does go to education.
Does that differ from casinos though, and the way that
it would go to? It would be basically the same as the casinos.
Because with the casinos, isn't there some controversy over whether they actually provide more jobs or boost the economy, or if the tax breaks that they get on the other side actually kind of negate that?
Yes. Lots of questions.
Okay, well, that's a question for another time.
That was an incredibly good, quick answer.
My understandings and belief on like betting, I can't tell you, but yes, there are those questions. Many people have them.
So to Isabel, who asked a question, that would be my personal answer, that I'm suspicious of that, and so go look it up. I had one last question. If I'm dominating the questions too much, let me know. But Michael, I think we had similar questions.
We share this one, yeah.
What should we think about this city manager thing happening in Baltimore? I don't know if so there's the question that it's question K. Is that the one? Yeah, question K.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's the last question on the ballot.
And it establishes a city manager position. Yeah, explain it.
Yes.
What do you think?
Many other cities like Baltimore have that kind of structure. It is really interesting because this is something, again, like all those city ballot questions are things like that question 1 is for the statewide. Those questions are in Baltimore are things that those are reforms the city council really wants. Those are things that will increase transparency. Again, we also have a strong mayor system in Baltimore, like the strong governor system. So many of those same reforms are happening in the city system to give more power to the council. But question K is really interesting because this is something that Council President Scott is really fighting for, which means he is running to give up power because he wants to have somebody to help to take some of the those processes. It's a really interesting question. It gives, again, it would give, I think the argument is it would give more stability and have more sort of somebody whose job is not politics, whose job is just administration.
Who appoints this person?
It would be hired. That person would be hired by the mayor and the city council.
The downside that I've heard is that it would shift responsibility away from the mayor.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Meaning that the mayor could
Baltimore has
claim-
seemed pretty incompetent for the last N years, so an administrator might help.
Right. And other cities, other comparable cities have it, which is one of the reasons that the city council decided that this is something that they wanted to pursue.
Yeah, what I've read about it is, though, is that some of the downsides mean that, as Hachi was saying, that the mayor can then claim not being responsible for certain things, and sort of like that it can end up creating more of a bureaucratic gap between the citizens and the establishment. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I don't really. I mean, I think it's a really, it would be a seismic reform for Baltimore City. In terms of the way it's managed. It's a big city. It's got a big bureaucracy. It's got a lot of different moving parts, and the administrator would be a wonk whose job is just to be a bureaucrat, not a politician. So if you want bureaucrats to run your bureaucracy, and
Right.
people who are not politicians, people who don't have that political
I
angle.
guess that's a good point. Yeah.
We should have just
Right?
done a whole episode on Baltimore politics. It's been a busy week for Baltimore politics,
No shit.
honestly.
Oh my God.
All
And
this other
I
stuff
think
going on.
like, I am not necessarily the person for that, but we could find the people. It's really, this is really
You got
interesting.
Nick Mosby's revelations and all these people that Jack's hiring. It's going
So,
fine.
yeah, and
Everything's
this is-
fine.
Yeah. So that's really it is, who's running the city. Is the mayor would still have the ultimate authority. The buck would still stop with the mayor, but you'd have somebody who has less of a political angle, whose job is just to be the administrator of the agency, the administrator overseer of the agencies, which may or may not be a good thing, depending on how you feel about, bureaucrats.
That's a good
Well,
answer.
thank you, Kristen. Yeah, that was excellent. I think that we're over time, and
Probably.
should
I talk-
probably.
I mean, it means you know what you're talking about. You're the
Yeah.
greatest nerd on earth. love you.
Butterflies. What was it? Butterflies and elections. Is that what you
And-
said?
and-
The life cycle of the ballot.
Butterflies and
ballots.
ballots. That's what I
Butterflies
imagine
and
is going
ballots.
on inside your brain.
So go to mdlcv.org for more election information.
I've dropped
I
it in the
will-
chat a few times.
Post things. I will post things. If anything I've said tonight is wrong, I will post it in the Mobtown election.
Post it.
Yes.
Post it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you so much. It's always so much fun. And
Have
go
a good
vote.
one. Yeah, thank you.
Woo.
Awesome.
Kristen Harbison, everybody.
Kristen's
What a
the
treasure.
greatest. So with that, we are about to go into the SpOoKy section, although elections are pretty spooky this year, but the Halloween section of this show. Some of you may recall SpOoKy Dead. Who doesn't have their thing muted?
It's just a little one. That's okay.
Okay. So
Me.
SpOoKy Dead is a shadow puppet show by Alex Sullivan, my brother. And he did a big SpOoKy Dead episode at the telethon, and I think he once did it again. But the idea is that he makes shadow puppets with his hands, and he makes it all up as he goes along. So if you're like,
And he's
what is-
insane. No, it's
Yeah.
he makes it up and he's insane.
and
What's the average length of a SpOoKy Dead in the real world? Because if you
in
see
the
these
real
live,
world, and he
Days.
talks about
45 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour is the length of SpOoKy Dead.
it's like
I
a
don't know how-
prestige television show.
He's a rock climbing instructor, which is the only way that I can imagine him holding his hands up for so long.
Oh, he's one of those rock climbers.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a new revelation.
And so SpOoKy Dead is hosted by Hans of Hate, and Hans.
Wait,
is,
Hans is Hans also a rock climber?
Yes, and he's
Okay.
in the chat for this episode of SpOoKy Dead. He's on Alex's computer. It says Alex Sullivan.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
So my point of saying that this was all improvised is that if you're like, what the hell is going on? Alec also is probably like, what the hell is going on?
Art
So
is
if-
what's happening. Art.
Art, yes. So if names get mixed up or voices or whatever, he's just riding along with you. We're all confused, but it lands somewhere, and it's pretty excellent.
So what Sarah's trying to say is this is high art, and if you don't understand it, just try harder.
It's probably your fault. Yeah, Sarah's trying to apologize for this. We're presenting this without apology.
I'm not apologizing. I'm trying to set the scene and say that this is freaking brilliant because he's making it up as he goes along.
Yeah.
And you can check out... Yeah, you can check out the SpOoKy Dead YouTube channel on YouTube. We'll drop it in the comments. And yeah, thank you. Here we go. SpOoKy Dead.
SpOoKy Dead. SpOoKy Dead. Starring Hans of Fate. Hello, trusty viewers. It's SpOoKy Dead. SpOoKy Dead. SpOoKy Dead. SpOoKy Dead. SpOoKy Dead. Hello, trusty viewers, one and all. Welcome back to another fun fact, a great episode of SpOoKy Dead. I hope you enjoy this special abridged Halloween episode. For all you viewers of Mobtown Live, this one's coming at ya with a flavor of the spook. Unlike anything you've ever seen before, maybe. Anyways, here we go onto this amazing journey, abound with tales of creation, folklore, and most importantly, horror. Well, I guess I'm gonna go into the haunted house this year. Hey, excuse me. Hey, what's up? Hey, Stacy, what's up? Hey, I don't know who you are. Oh, my name's Jeffrey Manahu. Just moved here from Texas. I know I don't have a Texas accent, but that's besides the point. I was raised in Texas, but my parents are from Oklahoma. Well, you don't have an Oklahoman accent either. Don't worry about that. Are you going to the haunted house this year? What haunted house? The one that's advertised in Us Weekly as being like the scariest haunted house of all time. You may have seen it. You saw the commercials, right? No, I think if I saw the commercials, I would know which one you were talking about. Can you just tell me what it is? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, Stacy. I just have a real big crush on... I just wanted to talk to you because I need help with my homework later. But that's something my mom can help me with. You don't need to help with that. Okay, good. Anyway, if you have time today, I would like to go to the haunted house with you. Hey, girls? Yeah. Hey, am I doing anything later? No. Are you sure? Darn. What was that? Alright, fine, I'll go to the haunted house with you later. Oh, gee golly gosh, this is the best day of my life. Gotta go, bye, gotta work on my homework, my mom's gonna help me with it. Whoa, what a weird guy. That must be the guy that just moved into town. I already forget his name. Jeffrey. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I remember it now. Okay. Woo-wee, Stacy, gotta remember those names a little better next time. Woo-wee. Later that night. Oh, I gotta get my suit on. I got a big day. Oh, yeah. Let me just look in the mirror here. Oh, whoa! My mom's old antique mirror. Used to be my grandmother's. It's huge, but I guess this is it. All right, I guess I'm gonna turn and walk into it now. Yeah. Wow. Looking good, Jeffrey. Looking good. Never looked better than this. Well, maybe except for your bar mitzvah. But that had a lot of financial help, so I can't really say that this is a good day. Gotta make sure my bow tie's on. A little bit of cologne. Not the place in Germany. Still got it. Hey, Mom, I'm going to the haunted house, the one in Us Weekly with Jennifer. I mean, Stacy. Your name's Stacy, Mom. I'm sorry. Oh, it's okay, honey. If you're going, you just make sure you bring her back by midnight. Bring her back by midnight? Yeah. I'm just assuming that her dad would probably say that. Okay. Wait. What? Do you know who... Who what? Do you know who Stacy is? No! I have no idea, but she's in your class or something, right? Yeah, that's what I assumed. I like making assumptions. Hey, have a good Halloween, honey. Oh yeah, it's Halloween. Almost forgot. Except I didn't. Just a little wink for you. Alright, time to go get Stacy. There's the door. This is kind of a creepy house. Let me try the doorbell. Happy Halloween! Whoa, cool doorbell. Ding dong! Happy Halloween! Whoa, that was just as good the second time. Let me do it one more. Ding dong! Happy Halloween!
Who dare enter, ring the doorbelleth of doom?
It's me. My name's Jeffrey.
You're here to pick up my daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, have her back by 11:30 p.m.
11. Okay. Mr. Wait, what's your last name? I want to be formal.
I go by Daddy-O. That's what my family calls me.
Okay, do I have to call you that?
No, you better call me Mr. Jefferson.
Oh, my name's Jeff.
Don't care. Gonna go get Stacy now.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm sorry about that. My dad's kind of a weirdo. He's all into Halloween and stuff. Anyway, you ready? Yeah. Whoa, you look really good, and your cologne smells really good. It almost smells like it's from the city in Germany. Oh, the one, Belfast? No, silly. I was talking about Hamburg. Let's go.
And they went to the haunted house that day at the carnival.
Excuse me. All the cotton candy is in my mouth. It's still in my mouth. Oh, man. Wow, that cotton candy made my voice really high. Yeah, I know. That was pretty funny. Have some more.
It wasn't until the wee hours of dawn, just kidding, late after dark, that they entered the haunted house grounds.
Well, I guess this is it, huh?
It loomed over them like a shadow of a knee, only to be bequeathed by the surreptitious nature of their forthcoming day of reckoning.
Whoa, I guess this is it. We going in together? Yeah, that's what you invited me to, right? Yeah, I was just kidding. Alright, let's go inside. Okay.
Inside the haunted house.
Wow, this is pretty not scary, huh, Stacy? Yeah, I don't think it's that scary. I've never really been scared before. Whoa! Did you see? Our voices must have got swapped over! Yeah, what the heck's going on here? Maybe we need to bump heads or something. Whoa! That was crazy, our voices! I know, our voices got swapped. That was the weirdest thing in this whole universe I've ever seen, maybe. I know. Okay, let's go into this door. Oh, are we opening it together? Yeah! We're gonna open it at the same time. Is that okay? Is it cool with you? Yeah, it is Halloween night after all. Oh yeah, I guess that means something then. Not sure what, but it's a good thing you said that. Because I don't know why you would... I'm not really sure why you said that. I don't know why it's significant for this moment. It doesn't matter. Growing up in Oklahoma, they always had the weirdest things coming. For my parents, that is. They were the ones that grew up there. they just still had a lot of traditions. And okay, I think we should probably go in now.
Enter if you dare. Oh my God, should we go in there?
I think we should.
Enter if you dare.
Do we dare enter? I think we do. Oh, here we go. Oh.
You think you're the only... You think other people... What do you think this is?
Oh my God. Oh my God. It can't be. Is it him?
Who do you think I am? And do you think that this is a haunted house? Like this isn't a game?
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Hey, Jeffrey, where'd you go? Jeffrey. Oh my God. Jeffrey, what are you doing out here? I thought we said we were going to go in. Yeah, I know, but then I don't know what happened. I hurt my hand when I pushed the door open. I guess I just got a little scared. I heard somebody say, oh wait, no, we both heard him say, enter if you dare. Yeah, we both heard him say that and then we both went in. No, I didn't go in because my hand needed attending to. I need to give it... I think I'm getting sick because of my hand hurt. I can't go in there. It's not because I'm scared. I swear to you, Stacy, please believe me. After all we've been through, I think you should be able to trust me by now because my hand... You know how it is. Okay, what are you talking about? Why aren't you going in the room? Why did I go in there alone? Okay, who was that guy in there? Okay, I'm pretty sure that this isn't really a commercial haunted house. I think we came into a creepy old house by accident, thinking that these were fairgrounds. And I'm pretty sure that the cotton candy outside was actually tumbleweed. Oh my God, tumbleweed? Is that why my voice was so high? Yeah. Because it was tumbleweed. Your voice got high. Oh my gosh. That is the craziest thing. Okay, well, wait a second. We're still in this guy's house, huh? Yeah. And I don't think it's just any guy. I think it's Old Man McCumbersome. He died in the War of 1973.
Yeah, come here now. Get your bottom dollar out of here. Oh,
He died in his home, not in the war, but actually defending his honor. And he was stabbed with a candlestick by his friend, Bequeathment Joe. Joe was a Maine miner from Maine. That's why he was a Maine miner.
Oh, that's me, Joe. You want to work together someday? Okay, whatever. I'm not sure who I am. You're my friend. Nice to business deal. Nice to meet you. Good business deal, that is.
And then, guess what? Guess what happened? I don't know. He died in his home with a candlestick. Yeah, you already told me that part. I knew that part. Oh, okay, good. Well, yeah, okay. Listen, I think what we should do is try to run, okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Where are you going? I'm not finished with you.
He hasn't even started with us. How can he... Of course he's not finished.
What did you say?
Nothing! We're gonna leave now! We are just teenagers trespassing as a joke. Because we didn't think it was cotton candy outside, I swear! Yeah, that wasn't... I knew it was tumbleweed. I was just eating it on a dare.
Oh, you will get out of my house now. Just kidding.
Oh my God, Jeffrey, you get pulled in. Where did you go?
Now you're coming in too.
No. I got escaped. I escaped by myself.
Come back here.
Oh no, never.
You will come back here or else. I can't run faster. I'm a ghost from 1973.
Oh my God, he's a ghost from 1973. I've confirmed it.
can escape now.
Oh, that's the last time I see you. Because I know what your weakness is.
What do you think my weakness is? Being in the ground, I've been so low for so long.
Well, guess what I got in my esophagus still?
What do you got in your esophagus still? Oh, no.
That's right. Tumbleweed.
Oh, my body, bequeathed as it may be, Joe, curse you! I will be low once again someday!
Oh, what did I miss? I'm not really sure what just happened, but I think we're gonna be okay. You see, I had to give him the tumbleweed that was stuck in my esophagus.
Yes, Jeffrey explained to Stacy how the tumbleweed made the body of that ghost high, and he ascended into heaven. And that was the story of Halloween Night 2002 with Jeffrey and Stacy, who reside together to this day in Seattle, Washington, with 3 kids, one being a boy, the other 2 being girls, and they have never actually seen a real Halloween ever since the couple moved from that old spooky Massachusetts town with the fair and the commercial haunted house. But was it really a haunted house after all? Or was it a really haunted house? Spooky Dead! Spooky. Created by Alex Sullivan. Hans of Fate here. Hello, viewers of Mobtown Live. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this special micro version of Spooky Dead. Yes, it is micro. No, it is not usually only this long, however long it is, because it is normally like, 30 or 40 minutes, because it kind of goes off the rails sometimes. If you enjoyed this, please check out Spooky Dead on Facebook and YouTube. And if you enjoyed the subtle music in the background tonight, please check out the new the new Night of Spooks Volume 3, Woods of the Witch, on nightofspooks.bandcamp.com, available on further digital retailers in the weeks to come. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Spooky Dead. Come back soon, and remember, stay spooky, or else you'll be dead.
Here we go. And that was Spooky Dead, everybody. Thank you, Alec and Hans.
Who said Hans could plug their album? That was not cool, Hans.
That's actually Alec's album, I think.
Oh, it's so hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. I really liked the addition of music this time. It's tough to do a live show and have music, and I imagine that if it were truly live, then Hans wouldn't be able to press play on the music, but who knows?
I mean, Hans of Fate, I expect nothing less than pure genius.
That's true. You all can look up Spooky Dead on YouTube or Alex Sull on YouTube. And Alec also has a Halloween album of ambient spooky Halloween noises.
What?
So if you need anything to play for trick-or-treaters that aren't coming because of coronavirus,
Good
then go
good
ahead and
pivot
do
there,
that.
Sarah. That's good.
Can we just quickly show the image 2 and 3, Hachi, just to talk about some things that we have coming up? Next week, again, it's our Try and Soothe Your Soul episode while we wait for the election results. That won't be coming probably for a while.
Are you talking about masturbation, Sarah?
I kept thinking that as I made this up, but no. I mean, maybe. We're just not going to be doing that on our show.
Aww.
And then ideally the week after, this is not totally confirmed, but soon we are going to have Celica Smith on the show, Celica is awesome and hosts a podcast called The Color Girl Beautiful, and her second season is coming out in just a few weeks. So if not on the 11th, she will be here very soon, but I think probably the 11th. So like and subscribe, and our YouTube video for next week is in the comments, so you can
Yeah, but actually subscribe too. We mean it this time, because I know
We
none
do.
of you are. I
It's
get
very helpful. It alerts you.
notifications.
It alerts
Yeah,
you.
and it
I
gets
gotta
us
say-
money someday.
that it was only like 3 weeks ago that I figured out how to use like a YouTube account.
Oh, sweet God.
So, I would be like, subscribe, and it would be like, you have to log in. And I was like, to what?
What?
And now I get it. So yeah, if you have Google, you can just log into Google on like
The
Chrome
miracle
or
of
whatever,
the modern internet.
and then you can click like, it's the thumbs up button, and you can also click subscribe. It's the one that says subscribe.
Question: is it pronounced spooky dead or spooky dead?
It's actually SpOoKy Dad.
That's
SpOoKy Dad. All right. Anyway, I think it's time for Sage and Sage.
Fuck. All right.
We need a theme song.
Oh,
Sage
shoot.
and sage.
This cat butt is
Oh
don't.
my
It's a
God.
spoiler
To
for last
think
week. Gotta get that out of
Was
there.
supposed to be there. What?
I'm not supposed to be here either. Shit.
I'm not supposed to be there, but
Well,
I
you're
forgot
not.
to eat dinner and I drank a beer, so here I am.
We've reached the bullshitting section of the show.
Oh, there we go. That looks lovely.
That
Oh,
does look nice.
thanks.
Actually, my mom specifically said that she liked this part.
Sage
And
and
spec-
Sage, or the you getting drunk by accident?
The border.
Oh, I see. The
Well,
flower art.
I believe I found it on the second or third result for whatever I searched for 2 seconds before we did the
We put in
first
the
one.
time. We put in the time.
We
here.
did. Looking for graphics help.
All right, Michael. So we had a very interesting question this
I
week.
liked
Would
it.
you read it to us?
Yeah, I just looked it up. Thank you for stalling while I figured out my email.
I definitely don't just talk too much. That was some fast email work on your part, though.
Thank you. That's the fastest I've ever done. It was sitting for those of you who don't understand, like they're constantly asking me to check something called Google Drive for files.
Just
or something.
stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut your mic.
All right, so I'll read the question in my email. Dear Sage and Sage, what do the greats have to say about crushes? Or to go a little grander, unrequited love? Popular media idolizes the, quote, never give up on true love strategy, glorifying actions that are tantamount to stalking. How long and with what intensity should one pine after another person, and how much pursuing the other person is enough to give it your best shot, but not cross into the line of violating boundaries? This is from definitely not Joe Goldberg. I don't know that. I'm sure that's funny. I don't know why.
We looked it up. I've never heard of the TV show. Yeah, I don't know. I assume that it's somebody in a TV show who walks the line of being a stalker. And
Maybe we could just refer to them as Def Not.
Def Not. Well, thank you, Abby. That's convenient. Def Not. Well, so Def Not. My initial reaction is there's 2 questions involved in here. One is how long do you keep pursuing someone who said no to you, and the answer to that is not at all. You stop right away.
oh, this is just the Michael Seguin's personal opinion
Yes.
part.
Well,
That's
Okay.
not romantic.
I don't
And
think that was the
desperate.
question. I'm just saying, like, if someone is like, stay away from me, like any amount of contact after that is stalking. And we've all dealt with that in our personal lives. For the love of God, this is not the greats talking. Just love me. When somebody says, stay away from me, stay the fuck away from them. But I'm certain that's not what you were talking about. What I think you're talking about is how long does one sort of carry a torch when the answer is ambiguous and or you haven't asked it and or circumstances are such that it would be unwise to ask it, something like that.
I know I've never carried a torch.
Cold.
Oh, Abby. And I
Not
well,
for you, Michael.
our love is just deeply true. There's no torches to be carried. It's a burning bonfire. So there's where we're going to come at this from. We'll make it fast. First of all, I think that our conception of love now in the West is pretty Shakespearean, which is bizarre because they always die you know, like the most romantic stuff in that genre is you love each other, and then one of you is 14, and then you both die, and hooray! That's tragedy, folks. That's not a love. That's tragedy. It's sort of an example of what happens when you really chase something fucked up all the way down the line. So maybe don't model your life after it.
We look at relationships that way too, I guess, huh? Like a relationship is successful if it ends with you both dying.
by suicide or old age.
Or just,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
Maybe
like,
not at 14, but
what I mean is you break up and everyone's like, boo, that sucked, which you maybe had a number of great years.
But you know, it's sorry, boys. It's a great question. And also, sorry, this is like the worst experience on earth, having unrequited affection like that. It's horrible. And the Greeks can answer this question for us, as long as you don't look at the edges of all the fucked up shit they thought and sort of steer right down the middle. But they talked about love as eros, which was a much broader conception, and also a divinity in itself. And it's different from sort of the limited romantic love we talked about, although it's where we get the word erotic from. And in Plato's Symposium, famously, there's a discussion of love that also inspired Hedwig and the Angry Inch, if you've seen that. Where everybody at the table that Socrates is at for this sort of drinking party has to give a speech about love, and they're all recorded. And one of them is very fascinating. I think it fits into our conception, which is Aristophanes in that thing says that we all used to be two creatures. We were one creature like this, and then that was threatening to the gods. We sort of had two faces, and they split us apart. And then you're running around the world looking for your other half, which is sort of the like Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks vision of romantic love.
That's given a lot of credit to those movies, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that I think most of us at a certain age realize that don't really work. That's crazy talk. In the piece, in the Symposium, Socrates talks about this woman Diotima that he consults. He's often not taking credit for shit, and her vision is much more that love is like a ladder, where romantic love or any kind of love is somewhere on it, and you kind of ascend along steps. And I promise I'll bring this back around to the question. But the basic notion is that humans want to sort of be in and sort of metaphorically give birth in beauty. And that can take the form of physical love that leads to children, but that's kind of the most basic form. It can also take the form of ideas being created and passed on, and a dialectic that brings us closer to the truth. And while some of that's crazy nonsense, I think there really is something to the idea that romantic love, when it's unrequited, there's an element of abstract perfection to that, where pursuing it and holding it deeply in your heart can actually lead to something pretty beautiful.
This love is a battlefield.
It ended. I thought this was going to be.
I thought we were going to have a little bit of jam.
I mean, he was going to do the whole song.
No, that was just that one time.
But I think the real question is what role love is going to have in your life, and whether you are going to use it as a thing to sort of open yourself up more broadly to expressions of truth and beauty, or whether you're going to pine over one thing until it eats you up. In the case of being eaten up, I think you should stop. And I think Socrates / Plato would be like, what's up? Don't do that. Or you better not. But in the scenario where that unrequited love could be not destructive, but could be sort of subsumed into you as a broader appreciation, it's probably a good thing. That's my thought.
Did the Greeks specifically address that? Like they were talking about transforming your weird obsession into something more beautiful? No, they
were super rapey and also like into young boys. I mean, if I'm being honest, like, they had very beautiful ideas in certain areas that you but they weren't like, oh, that's bad. They would have been like, well, I have unrequited love for that person, they better requite it, or they were awful. But no, I think that the idea that at the bottom of some of these emotions is something that we that's a journey as opposed to a destination. I cannot believe I just said that. But you're not arriving at love with somebody and then like, yay, I made it. And then you could tell all your friends, like, I know, and like you post a picture of your fucking engagement ring on the internet. That this whole thing is a journey because you're gonna die. It's all gonna end badly anyway. So it has to sort of expand past that. The ending is bad. Look for something more. What do you think, Sarah? You're a sage.
Oh, I'm a sage. No, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I think that they're like what you're saying. I guess I think what you're saying is a really great value to hold, like the idea of love as not being something you attain by getting into a relationship with somebody. I also think that it's a really good practical choice to make in terms of the values you hold, because, as we've all society's gone through changes, we're seeing kind of some of the holes in the way that we portray romance and expect romance. And I think like by being able to reframe it for yourself as something that is leading towards a grander vision for who you are and what life you want to have, and how you want to treat other people is really cool, because it can give you sort of some meaning in the like horrible emptiness that comes when somebody doesn't love you back.
Yeah, I mean, and also there's something about unrequited love that has this potential to go to a really dark place where you feel that it, it's owed to you. And I'm not trying to traffic in sort of like the 101 level, like don't try to be possessive of human stuff. But
I think this is often applied to men, but just as equally like could be attributed to women.
I've known men and women, but I've definitely known women who have been consumed by a sense of unrequited love that leads to almost like a there should be an ownership there, like this person because of the power of my love, this person rightfully should belong to me, and therefore any behavior that would be otherwise out of line is sort of justified because it's ennobling this feeling.
It's almost worse. It's like because I have these feelings, I should belong to them.
That's
so
a great
like,
way to
and
put it.
since they're not allowing me to belong to them, and it puts you on this lower level than this other person, which means that your behavior doesn't have as much impact on them in your mind as it actually does in reality. Like it's this way of undercutting your own power.
Because love is a battlefield.
And using it against
it's true.
Your partner or your, the person you hope to date or whatever, while also just like kind of disrespecting yourself.
Yeah, well, there's like that weird balance, which I'm not claiming to be any sort of expert in, where on the one hand, you're supposed to want what's best for the other person. On the other hand, you should not become a doormat in the service of another person, and how you negotiate that out. In terms, I mean, this question really does suck though, especially if it's like that unrequited love where you're not sure if you should say anything about it, or like it hasn't been played out, right? When someone says no, I'm not into it, then you just have to observe that. But at the end, I don't know how you deal with that, the feelings of like this could be a thing. It's not. That's not for the sages. That's for wiser people than them.
Yeah, and it's a tough world out there too, because sometimes you're pursued as a stalker, and sometimes it works out. Like Charlie and I have been together for 10 years, and there was a little bit of a persistence that happened.
How many times, Sarah?
I can't. He'll get mad if I mess it up. I think he gave himself 5 and used 3 of those tries, perhaps.
It's good to have a limit.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks, Michael. That was, I think that was my favorite Sage and Sage yet.
Ah.
Definitely my least favorite Sage and Sage. It did not make me think of all of my successful triumphs of love from my past.
Michael, where are each of us on your ladder?
Oh, in terms of like fuck, none of us are anywhere. I mean, this is America in 2020.
No, I was kidding. I mean, like where on the ladder of love is Hachi? You know, like is he in the
I'm not fucking kidding. We're all toast. you can't live in this country in this era and have like you self-actualization. It's survival and that's for fucking middle class white people. Like it's a nightmare. Yeah. I mean, these are things we hope for. But I'm here to cheer you up again. Anyway, I'm going to wrap my segment up right now.
Well, I think that it's time to move to top comments from last week, which is our final segment. And we're going to show you the top 6 comments and announce the winner at the end.
Top 6 video.
Exactly. All right. Let's bring up these comments, see what they got. Abby, you want to read them?
Yeah. Where are they?
And we should give some context because comments
Oh,
are
we
really
don't have
funny.
that video. Okay, I'll read them. Just stall for a minute.
See?
Oh,
there we
okay.
go.
Yes, okay. Jesse Delaplane says, "Hi, dog."
What was the context for that?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you say mm-hmm? Okay, cool.
There should be a comma there.
There should be a comma there.
An Oxford comma for Michael Sequin.
No, it's a name.
It's a normal
Well,
comma.
anyway, whatever.
It's a normal comma, just in
Oh,
a
so
very
now-
Oxford location.
So now Oxford's normal, Michael?
Oxford
No!
comma should be normal.
Oh my god. Sorry,
Oh, does
continue.
Michael
Abby.
not
I
believe
interrupted
that?
you.
Okay, so that was Jesse's. Hi, dog.
Janice says, "Cats exploding in the street. Sounds very in the way."
That's hilarious because it's a throwback to Landis Expandis' song and the Mobtown Ballroom's secondary theme song, Cats in the Way.
Great song. Look it up.
I don't remember why we were talking about cats
Yeah,
exploding.
we had gone off the rails on something, obviously.
Cats in the way.
I don't know.
Sweet.
Yep.
Christine says, "Mobtown Live. You might not die."
This
This
was
is-
one of my favorites. For
I think
sure.
this was when we were talking about Mobtown Live slogans and about why to watch during these times. So yeah, Mobtown Live, you might not die. That would make a pretty good t-shirt.
We should get T-shirts, maybe for season 3, if the people want.
What is time? Oh yes, Jacob says, "I love crying in the privacy of my room."
Yeah, I believe that was a reference to something I said about crying in the privacy of your room.
I think we were talking about feeling your feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael's favorite topic.
Charlie says that Michael said something offhand about cats exploding.
Yeah,
Like
that, I
he
mean,
does.
That sounds,
Accurate. All right, I believe this is in second place. Is that right? Are we on number 5?
Is this number 5?
I don't know. I can check.
Shit.
Yes,
My number-
this is number
Okay, cool.
5.
Okay, so our first runner-up, Rachel Sherman. Just make sure you send Michael all your comments in addition to posting them in the chat.
Chart chat.
So this was
Michael at mobtownballroom.com.
So this was basically saying that if you wanted to be a contender for this very contest, you needed to email your comments to Michael because he doesn't know how to read a chat box.
I thought there was also a sense of Michael would love your feedback.
Oh
And
yeah, that's
I'm going to say that in a business sense.
Email your feedback
No
to
feedback.
Michael
Yeah, I
at
don't want
mobtownballroom.com.
Yeah. You want to talk about books or something, you can send me an email. But you want to talk about your feelings on what should and shouldn't be done, then go away.
He really likes
Email
discussing
Michael
Harry Potter.
your feelings at Michael at mobtownballroom.com. And wait, so we should have a drum roll? Yes?
Oh yeah, so the winning comment.
Idiots.
Is
Quote from
from
Sayla's 8-year-old BFF who was watching. Well, there's 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
So this is what happened, in case you missed it, folks. I was supposed to play that video of kids that I interviewed last
And
week.
instead, we just swore loudly.
Yeah,
We talked
and
talked
about
about
Jeffrey
Jeffrey Tubin.
Tubin's penis.
we talked about it for like 20 minutes before I realized that there were children hoping to see themselves and their friends on the show, and that I had just arbitrarily decided not to do it. Luckily, the Sayla, the one you saw today, I don't think paid too much attention to those jokes. Her friend apparently knew what we were talking about, but already knew all of it.
She's a fan of New Yorker.
And so she turned to them and said, well, that's 20 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. And I assume left and stopped watching once she realized that Sayla would not be on. Sabrina, if you're watching, thank you for that hilarious comment.
Well, and we showed you, Sabrina, because for that 20 minutes, you just got 50 pig bucks. So
That's
Yeah.
Boom.
it's totally worth your time.
Yeah, that's
we're
a
gonna
lesson in
send-
economics that they don't teach in school.
So we're going to send Amaya the 50 pig bucks that Sayla and Sabrina can split. I imagine they'll want to use them at Charm City Books because
good
Sayla
choice.
is such an avid reader.
Ah, dude,
And
get
she
a
can't drink at
get a
Mobtown.
child tattoo or something.
Well, she could get a lot of Shirley Temples, which she does like. So,
Who
or
Yo.
Cherry
doesn't?
Coke.
Speaking of tattoos, wait, is that done? Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I found the best thing ever. It's called like singlesticktattoo.co.uk, and they will send you a medically sealed tattoo kit.
This is the most Hachi thing I have ever heard.
I'm so excited. I think that we should get them for our viewers, and they can tattoo themselves with Mobtown Live stuff.
It's a great idea. I will say that so I have this tattoo, and it was my first tattoo, except technically not. Yeah, Michael and I got it together.
Boom.
Ew.
But the first one that I actually got, a friend whose name I will not speak.
Because she
Who's
sucks.
watching right now? Oh
no, she's
no.
definitely.
Oh, okay, I get it.
She and I did give each other tattoos on the bottom of our feet one time, and it was on the bottom of our feet so that it would go away, which it did in like 2 weeks. But it was supposed to be MB for Mobtown Ballroom, and so she made one on my foot that was like this big, and then I accidentally made hers like this big, so it was like half the sole of her foot said MP, which
She
I think
deserved
is
it. She
pretty
sucks.
hilarious.
Is
Well,
it for Michael Bigwin?
yeah, Michael Begwin. Exactly.
Still 28 people watching this.
29 on
It's
my
because they love us. They
Oh, my God.
they care.
the exposure. I'm famous.
So, Michael, what would you like to leave the people with? You know,
Oh, shit. I've got so many opinions and I can't draw on any. Oh, yeah, vote or something. You know, just like.
Set a ballot box on fire.
you should talk more about love. It'll up our viewership. People don't. It's a it's a novelty.
Go love something. Anything. Be passionate about one thing, you ironic douchebags.
God.
Give a shit. Vote. Enjoy English wildflowers of the countryside. Just one thing that you don't get credit for on social media. That thing. That's my takeaway. Give away. Toss out. What about you, Abby? You never engaged in this kind of chicanery.
Excuse me.
What do you want to leave the people with?
Well, inspired by Michael, my friend, I'm reading what is this book called? Middlemarch.
Middlemarch.
And it's very slow.
Yeah.
But I'm like almost 200 pages in, so I'm in it.
You're like a quarter of the way through. Yeah.
You know, every once in a while, she has like a really just cutting piece of commentary on human nature.
Michael, you didn't respond to the intellectual topics that I sent you today.
What did you send me?
I sent you two things. I found a new Wikipedia article called "List of Sexually Active Popes."
Really?
And
That sounds
it
pretty good.
is
That's some of the content I approve of.
it is an incredibly detailed Wikipedia page. I got this from the best Ask Reddit I have seen in like 10 years. It is What is a not safe for work fact about history? Oh, sorry, it's loading. That we don't get to hear too often.
Yeah, Hachi, play us out with one of those.
Oh, well, this one is full of too many words I can't say. Hold on, let me find another one. I don't know how to go back. All right, we'll read this one. When Jadwiga, the King of Poland, was considering a marriage proposal from the Grand Duke of Lithuania, a chief concern among her court was that said duke was rumored to have massive genitals to the point that they would kill his wife on their wedding night. 2 of her counselors volunteered to travel to Lithuania to try and discover the truth of these rumors, which naturally meant that they would watch the duke as he bathed. They returned and happily reported that not only weren't the duke's genitals fatally large, they were in fact a tad smaller than average, so nothing to worry about. Thus, Poland and Lithuania were united, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Well, everyone, that's Mobtown Live. Send
Thanks
us
for watching.
$10. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Mesdames et messieurs, vous êtes en train d'écouter une chanson produite par Auguste Flight Cordon. Vous pouvez également visiter www.soundcloud.com/AugusteFlightCordon.
I think the blackberry's ready
Merci,
too.
au revoir.
And the cherries. Grab some cherries. Yeah. Tracy went and broke her booty shorts out. Kareem bought the rollerblades and jorts out. It's summertime, feel how you feel. Epic fam, love it long as it's authentic and real. I put the grill on, baby, we gon' eat whatever. My Uncle Phil on judging, but I keep it clever. We go for better. This is a song you might enjoy.